Hello everybody, how's it going? Today's painting is a Ghost Bill painting. It's one of the first places he visits after his untimely end. Before we get into it, if you could all like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and let's get on with the story. So all of these stories that I tell are really kind of loose and they change as time goes on. So I'll just kind of give a quick rundown of the original story. But if you're interested, I'll have a link at the end of the video where you can go back and look at the original Ghost Bill painting and the beginnings of his story. Oh, and if you'd like to skip the synopsis, you can just click the timestamp below in the description. So this here is the original painting right here. This is Bill sitting in the home that he grew up in. It's his childhood home. He never left home. All of his siblings left and went about their lives and got married and had children. He stayed behind and took care of his very overbearing mother. She did not like any of his interests. He had a bug collection. Bill was really interested in bugs, but he was kind of just crushed down his entire life. So whenever he passed on, his mom wasn't there waiting for him. He was just kind of sitting in his empty house alone, and the afterlife, taking pity on him, came for him and decided to send him on a little adventure to help him find himself. So this is the first stop in his series of adventures. So this being Bill's first adventure, the afterlife decided to go easy on him. Are we calling it just the afterlife, or is this like a god or a being or like just a general collective consciousness? Doesn't really matter. Moving on. So the afterlife decided to go a little easy on him. This potential reality, maybe it's like an alternate reality where it's almost exactly the same, but the way we see the spectrum of color is completely different. So it's just a little bit off, you know? Like maybe it's almost exactly our world. It's just got a different like visible color spectrum. That could be a cool idea. Or it could also be that maybe his life had kind of been so, black and white and not really an experience for him that everything just kind of appears to be Technicolor. I kind of like the other reality. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it makes more sense or it's more fun for it to be like an alternate reality, or just kind of like him experiencing life for the first time being Technicolor? I kind of like the idea that if we're going with like an afterlife that involves maybe eventual reincarnation, that maybe the different alternate realities that exist in like our universe layered on top of one another, or just everybody's, reincarnated lives. Like maybe that's why there are just small differences. They're kind of living the same life and making adjustments based on their soul's previous experience. And that's why all of these different dimensions have just, little tiny differences all just stacked on top of each other. Maybe that's too complicated. It doesn't have a lot to do with what's going on here. Moving on. So the afterlife, or being, or whatever that we've decided on, we write our own lore here, has decided to go a little easy on him. So it's just a little bit off color. And he's here just kind of looking around. He's not got a lot to do yet. And he sees his very first bug, right? He sees his first insect outside his home, outside of his little bug collection, outside of the, not alive insects that he was able to collect, the very small collection he was allowed to keep. And maybe it's like an orchid mantis, but crazy colors, just beautiful, crazy colors. Maybe like a rainbow orchid mantis. The afterlife has given him a little notebook and maybe like, I don't know, a travel watercolor set, right? And there's no conversation happening. Like nobody's telling him what's going on. So he just kind of manifests in this environment, and he's got like this little pocket notebook and maybe like this little miniature watercolor set. And he's just standing around. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then he sees this bug and he's like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful mantis I have ever seen. I've never seen an orchid mantis. And he just gets really excited and he pulls out this little notebook and he's like, I've never done anything like this, but let's go. What else have I got to do, right? As an aside on his personality, I don't think just having an overbearing mother really broke this dude all the way down, right? Like, yeah, she calls him Bill instead of William because she doesn't like his given name, even though she gave him that name. But what more could have done? I'm thinking that maybe Bill had like an older brother that was really the golden child and could do no wrong, and that maybe he was just a huge butthead, right? Like maybe he was just terrible. He tore him down all the time. Maybe he was like the youngest of 5 kids and his older brother was the only other son and like the oldest. So of course, oldest child, first boy, lots of girls after, golden child. And maybe Bill had come across some, bugs and insects that he really liked, and his brother would just show up and start stomping on them, like the terrible hellion child that he is. Or was, I guess, because not only was he no longer a child, but he's probably no longer in the land of the living. Who knows? We don't know. He wasn't there whenever Bill passed on. So there Bill is with his little notebook, and maybe he's feeling true excitement and interest and passion for like the first time since he was, I don't know, 8 years old, and his brother crushed his pet beetle. I don't know. So he's sitting there and he starts sketching. We're going to have to sketch a rainbow praying mantis, aren't we? I'm going to have to watercolor a rainbow praying mantis. If I manage to pull it off, look out for it here. Hopefully there is a rainbow praying mantis sitting here next to Bill on this page. Except that Bill's not painted yet, so it's just the environment I'm currently painting that Bill's in, but it's Bill's painting. Go with it. Let's use our imaginations, guys. So here is the rainbow praying mantis that Bill sketched and watercolor painted in his little journal, along with, I don't know, maybe some notes or something. And he's feeling some stuff. Like, he's really feeling some stuff. What is he feeling? We don't know. Tell me, what do you think he's feeling? I think he's excited and he's a little confused. And he's wondering why he spent so much time, like, avoiding things that he didn't like. Because, of course, his brother was a big jerk. But, like, his brother would have been so much older than him that he definitely would have been out of the house by the time Bill was, I don't know, 12 or something. And being the youngest child, like, even if his other siblings were jerks, they wouldn't have been there either. But then, of course, he was stuck with his mom. I keep forgetting about the overbearing mother part. So terrible older brother that could do no wrong. Siblings that all left him behind and went to go live their lives. And him just being stuck with his mom, who told him every single day that, he wasn't as good as his older brother and his bug collection was stupid. And here he is, looking at bugs he's never even could have conceived of before, right? And he painted that. Not only is he interested in this bug, but like, look, I sketched and painted this. This is awesome. Are there more bugs here? Maybe Bill is really starting to have like interest. Maybe he's really starting to have some hope, which is what he was lacking, right? So the afterlife or after being or God thing, whatever, what they were trying to accomplish by sending him somewhere seems to be starting to work, right? Like he's got some sort of spark, right? Like you don't create art out of nothing. And even if it's just a life sketch of like a bug that you're looking at, it's still art, right? So Bill's creating. And maybe after he finishes painting his little orchid mantis, he starts to look around and maybe for the first time realize that, hey, the colors here are kind of weird. Why does everything look different? Because maybe Bill's waking up. Maybe this is the first time he's really taken in like new information in a long, long time. Which is a huge bummer considering his life is already over. But again, we've got like a lot, like obviously it's not like over because he's exploring things as a not alive sheep ghost person. And also reincarnation, right? Maybe it's nothing he's ever even thought of. Maybe he's just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe he doesn't even know that he's not even alive. Maybe he's just kind of been sitting there because he never thought about it. He just was so empty-headed. He was like, this is fine. I think that's probably why the afterlife had to send him to an alternate reality or another dimension or another world. I don't know. Maybe it's an alien world. We don't know. Because he needed something to really shake him out of his own consciousness. Like maybe he was really trapped in there, right? So he's starting to wake up and he's got to fill this little notebook with bugs and foliage. Probably mostly bugs, but maybe foliage too. Maybe now that he's looking around at this alien landscape and he sees all these rainbow plants, he's like, cool, new passion unlocked. Who knows? We don't know. He never really got to explore the bug passion. There's a lot of potential here. Let's see where Bill gets to. I do think it's important that Bill maybe explore some things on his own before he starts being bombarded with other not alive people and or live people and or other dimensional people. We don't know what the lack of life forms are in these different dimensions, but he's going to go on a couple solo adventures before we start having friend adventures, I think. What kind of bugs are your favorite bugs? What kind of bugs would you guys like to see Bill sketch? what kind of insects do you think that he'd be most interested in? What kind of landscapes, what kind of places do you want him to visit? I'm really trying to work on a variety of different environments and backgrounds, so really anything goes. I'd appreciate your thoughts and opinions. As always, I really appreciate you being here. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye, guys.